What up, everybody? What's up? What's up? We're going to have a show today. We want to talk. Whoever comes up, come on up. It's going to be one of them free-for-all shows. We're going to do it for about a good old hour. If nobody comes up, then we're going to go over a couple concepts and make it happen. Everybody, you can come. I'm about to go over there and post this thing on. I'm going to post it over here. The link. I'm going to link over to you guys. Let's see if I can do it right here. Over here on Twitter. This is Super Mike 2164. Yeah. How y'all feel today? Share the message. Press the thumbs up. Y'all can come up here and talk to me on the show. What the heck happened? Okay. Should be able to see it. I posted the link in Twitter. I'm going to go post it over here on Facebook. We're going to talk about a range of things. You know, if we don't bring ourselves up to speed, then we're going to be hurt. Yeah. Everybody have a good Saturday morning. Sharing the show, guys. Sharing the show. What's up? What's up? You know, the immigration thing has been going on. The abortion thing has been going on. We got a lot of different issues going on in the black neighborhoods and the communities. And as we always have, that's because we are a vibrant people. We are a group of people who are growing. And it's a good thing to have challenges, to have stuff to deal with. This is good. You guys can come up here and talk to me. If not, I'll get into a couple things, and I think that's it for me here. Try that. All right. So I think we're good. You know what, too? I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me get it together. I'm going to get it together. These are two hot topics right now. Two hot topics. I hope you come in, vibe with me on this. Shout out to Marcel Dixon running in South Carolina. Home of one of my favorite people, Brother BMT. We're going to play a little conversation that, I participated in with Brother Marcel Dixon, I should say. And I like the brother because he's a straight shooter. You know, I voted for him with my dollars. We got to understand, too, our dollars are a vote. Our dollars are a vote. Do we know that? Let's see. Oh, no, not that. I'm trying to find a insert picture, guys. Everybody, you can follow me on Twitter at Michael Akiba Farrar. You can also follow me on Facebook. Facebook is pretty much trash now, though. Facebook is like, come on, man. Facebook is kind of dead now. But Black Enough, we got to get on Black Enough and Black Junction. Let me post them. We got to make sure that we start sharing the Black social medias. Everybody join Black Enough. Black Enough is pretty good. A lot of good people on Black Enough. It's Black on social media. It's stuff that we can keep going in. I'm going to post Black Enough link. If you see this, Black Enough. Also, Black Junction. You can follow me on Black Junction. Find my Black Junction spot. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. There it is. Yeah. Let's get on Black Junction. And of course, we stay on the regular platforms. You know, Tariq Nasheed has been making a lot of waves. Marcel Dixon's been making a lot of waves. The more of us participate, the more of us understand the value of these social movements. This is how we control our conditions. This is how we influence our own conditions. This is how we do it. And let's see. That's what these social issues are. These social issues are us trying to influence our own conditions. So let me play this here. Let me share this screen. Do this. Let me do this. Here we go. We had a conversation over here.
Those people are that.
Thank you.
First, he wanted her to have abortion. She did have a couple.
Or kill the unborn child, you get charged for what you did to that pregnant woman and for the unborn child. So if it's a crime, then it should, to me, be unacceptable to do something to that unborn child in any circumstances outside of some. But I know I have others up on stage. I don't know who was next.
Thank you for that, Raymond. Hopefully we got your question answered. We had next, I believe, I think they dropped off. So I see Michael and then I see Aji. So Michael and then Aji.
Hey, Brother Marcel, thank you for taking the question. I want to get some actual questions. I support everything you do. This is the first time I actually sat and listened and heard you. So I will be supporting you financially. I have friends that live in your state, so I am concerned about the progress. If you can give an update on how well you guys are doing, looks like you're doing, so that we could work toward it. I 100% agree with every point you said on this issue. And just real quick, in your state, a friend of mine told me that just from what you were just saying, there's a situation where I guess a couple had the male had threatened his pregnant wife's, or not wife, but his girlfriend's life, because I guess first he wanted her to have an abortion. She did have two abortions. I guess the third time he told her not to have the abortion, and she had it anyway. He got mad at her, and then I guess the fourth time she got pregnant, he told her, I guess she wanted to abort it, and she said she wouldn't abort it, and he's threatening her on the internet and stuff. So she had to flee. So I was concerned about the messaging, because I understand, because of the relentless propaganda, and we know about the eugenics society, we know about the state-sanctioned sterilizations that occurred. We know that, we have rich white people who have so much control over our conditions. They force people into decisions that people think it's their own decision, but it's really people knowing they're restricting you. Basically, they're sanctioning your community and giving you so many options, men searching such options. I mean, they make the child support courts so punitive for the men. There's no common sense there. And, they make it so punitive. Men are scared to have kids. And that someone's going to trap them or use the child as a weapon against them. So it's just like, I think it's the messaging. And, I'm just going to try. I don't want to be rambling too much, but the point is, I just want to make this last point, then I'll listen. It's like we need better messaging. We need people like you. You're more valuable to our community in an office, but you're more valuable out of office. So the organizations that are built to support people like you, to give you a free voice, we need to be learning how, or be teaching each other how to organize to help you. So we need to even learn how to organize again, so we can help reproduce you, so you can have more support. So this is the kind of questions I would like you to speak to. How do we organize? Just like the women had an organization up there in New York, but we need people like this. We need to reward them. So, this is the kind of knowledge that we need to learn. So that's pretty much all I'm saying.
Thank you, Michael. So, one, I want to say that, yes, I'm glad you mentioned the history behind Planned Parenthood, which is the largest provider of abortions. Margaret Sanger literally wrote a letter saying she didn't want the word to get out that they were planning to exterminate the Negro population. She literally wrote that. Now, there's some debate about what context in which she meant it. I don't see where there's a debate about context. You said what you said. And Richard Nixon and George Wallace, I have it up in the Jumbotron on the third bullet point, they supported abortion to notorious anti-Black bigots because they said it would, quote unquote, control, exterminate the Negro population. And we still think this is a coincidence with 79% of abortion clinics in our neighborhoods. What else? What resources are they trying to put in our neighborhoods? Think about all the doctors and leaders we could have had that may have been aborted and we would never know. So, Michael, what I want to say to you is the messaging for me is on two prongs here. One, it is from an economical, political point of view. The fact that the overwhelming majority of Black women who get an abortion say it's because of economic hardship. So it's not like Black women want to get an abortion. The economic circumstances make them feel as if they have no choice but to get one. And why do we have those economic hardships? Again, because we do not have reparations. On that same line of thought, it is also the scientific aspect of it. I don't need to debate with anyone if a fetus has a beating heart, which it does, and electrical brain activity, which it does, and if you abort it, the heart stops beating and the electrical activity in the brain ceases. That is a lie, okay? I had a friend who's from Venezuela who was arguing me down, saying that the fetus is not a human. It's just, I don't know how he explains it. So I said to them, you just had a son. I said, what was the first thing you showed me of your son within the first 5 weeks? Was it not an ultrasound? Was it not sonar patterns of his heartbeat? I said, would you dare say if someone was to start your son's heartbeat that he was not a human? We just have to look at things like this in a practical manner. And I make the connection between the fact that we've lost 19 million babies. Look at the political power we could have had that we don't have. Look at the majority black districts, which we could have easily elected on cold black leaders that we could have had that we do not have. So that's the message I'm going to pursue with that. And y'all, I want to say, I'm not afraid to take on, look, if this was a congressional black caucus member, they'll be sitting here saying, oh yes, every woman has a right to her own body. Every woman has a right to her own body. While black babies continue to be aborted, while these other immigrants are coming here, and they're encouraging them to have children so that they can get birthright citizenship and stay in this country. Do we not see the hypocrisy? You're encouraging people to come in this country illegally and have children, and then allow them to use those children to say that is the claim for the one to stay in this country, yet you are encouraging black Americans whom you have yet to pay reparations to have an abortion. I noticed I'm noticing that little discrepancy there. Now the black population is still growing, but just imagine how much larger it would have been had it not been for abortion. And I tie that to our economic and political representation. We could have had reparations by now, probably, because if the census undercounts us by 12 million, and it says 50 million of us now, and then we would have had that 19 million, we would have been over 100 million strong. Over 100 million strong, an unstoppable political force.
Yeah, so the thing is, it's like this. Marcel, he knows what's going on. He sees the strategy. This is the issue. These folks are encouraging black mothers to kill their children. At the same time, they're encouraging immigrant groups to come over with children. And I pulled this up. Let me do it again. Let me do this. Okay, so, literally, this is what's happening today. They have messaging just like this. This is messaging. Honestly, Mom, chances are he won't stay with you. What happens to me? So you have to put it in the mindset of the black woman to kill the baby. Are you ready to raise a child by yourself? 90% of teen parents don't marry each other. So if he's not going to marry you, he don't value you, why should you value your children? That's the message. At the very same time, you have literally at the border, at the same time, women, where are the men here? Women coming over with multiple children, multiple women with children. The message is not told to them, well, you couldn't afford to have those kids. Why did you get pregnant? That's your fault. Deal with it. I mean, are we not getting this? Are we not getting this? You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to understand. Right now, you got black women, sisters. They literally believe. These folks, remember I played this, and I'm going to play this, and I'm going to show this again.
And thus not remediable to a major degree.
Let's deal with this. Hold on. I don't know. I forgot which side I had it on. The bottom line is This man wants you. This is back in the 70s. This man wanted you to choose to kill your own kid. He wants you to choose to kill your own children. This is the issue. And this is right here. This is what I want you to see. I think it's this one.
But the long-range implications of what he is doing are no different than
But the lesson, let me say what, well, there are enormous differences. In fact, the lesson to be learned from Nazi history is frequently very misunderstood. And it is a lesson such that if the same shift occurred for IQ, it would mean that the average IQ distribution would be up by 9 points rather than down by about 15 points, which is the typical average.
Dr. Shockley, visual acuity is probably something that the system of white supremacy has not necessarily seen the need to affect the environment that black people are in so that it will alter the fact that they have visual acuity that is superior to whites. The fact of visual acuity is not attacked in the same way as educational opportunity and job performance is attacked. And I think that
it's evidence for a genetic difference, in my
you see what
opinion.
I'm saying? There might be many, many more genetic differences where people of color appear superior.
If I may, we have a number of people, and we'd like to get to as many as possible. If you could make your answers as, not to compromise your explanation, but if you could make your answers as succinct, I would appreciate it, because we'd like to involve the public as much as we can. One moment, please. Your Unbacked Journal, go ahead, please.
Yes, I was wondering if Dr. Shockley could explain the basic difference between the course he is taking in explaining white supremacy and the course that Hitler took during the Nazism reign.
Thank you.
Well, there are enormous differences. In fact, the lesson to be learned from Nazi history is frequently very misunderstood. And it is a lesson which Mr. Brown has told us about earlier. It's the First Amendment. It's not that eugenics is intolerable. Actually, the eugenic programs, which are the opposite of dysgenics, eugenic programs are not inconceivable. They're not inhumane. Denmark has been carrying out programs with strong eugenic implications for maybe 30 years. And it's important to note that since World War II, Denmark's per capita homicide rate dropped and is now approximately 1/20th. That is, the number of deaths of probability of being killed in a year by a violent homicide is roughly, the order of 100 times less for young Danes than it is for young American blacks. Now, but the lesson, let me say what the lesson of Nazi history we have in this country, and it will protect us. It's just the thing that makes this program possible.
So the bottom line, dysgenics. You know, and I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I think I did it before, but I didn't have it on the exact spot. The point is, this man and the people who agreed with him back in the 70s, they started the messaging. They knew that they wanted to teach black people that it was easier to kill your own kids versus fight for the money. Instead of fighting for the money that you're supposed to have, because your parents work, your parents pay taxes, we're going to restrict those monies from you guys. So you're going to feel poor, you're going to feel ragged, you're going to feel hungry, you're going to struggle. And the answer to that is have less kids, kill yourselves. At the very same time, this is what they're telling the immigrant groups. Look at this. They're telling them to bring their kids and their women here. If these people, and these could be original people, so I don't have a problem with these individuals, but we're dealing with the root of this, and we know who's doing this. They're pitting groups against each other. This is what they do. So that these immigrant groups will want to fight us for calling out the white supremacists, because these immigrant groups are thanking the white supremacists for helping them, so-called helping them to have a better situation. But even these these folks should know that the American foreign policy is the policies that keep them from developing in their own nations. It kills their best leaders from developing their own nations. So they have to run somewhere. And of course, you're going to run to the first world nation. That's what's happening here. They're telling these people to run here. So they tell you to kill your kids with abortion, and then they use immigration to replace you. And this is the bottom line. This is what's being seen. That's what Marcel Dixon pointed out. And a lot of times we don't reward honesty when we're dealing with politicians. U.S. reports surge of migrant children, families at Mexico border. A challenge for Biden. Okay. So this is March last year, but has it stopped? Number of migrant children and families seeking to cross the U.S. southwest border has surged to levels not seen before the pandemic. The challenge for Joe Biden as he works to undo the restrictive immigration policies of his predecessor. Okay. So Biden wants Black people to support undoing restrictions on immigration. Okay. What does that do? It undermines the resources that Black people have fought for and paid for. Okay, it undermines those objectives, because now you're getting desperate people coming into the pool of labor. And what that does, they're going to undermine what you do, because these people are extremely desperate. This is how, and they don't have to have an advantage or anything, but they do get advantages. But even if they didn't get advantages, they're not going to behave. They're not going to hold the white supremacists accountable like Black America holds them accountable. And this is why these people are preferred. And this is something that we got to understand. This is why we have to focus on this immigration issue. And this is why we also, at the very same time, need to focus on the messaging of the abortion as well, because this is multiple strategy. So I'm going to play a little bit of something from Dr. Wesley as he goes through some of this here.
God again. And so Dr. Bertram Brown at the symposium asked the question, how should we manage the Muslims? How can we counteract the effects of the kinds of techniques they use to recruit members and cause general mischief in the prison system? Inside the prison and out, this government has been preoccupied with countering the effects of the Nation of Islam among you. They have studied how to keep you from Muhammad. They have studied how to keep you from Farrakhan. Because you coming to Farrakhan puts you at crosshairs, puts you in opposition of their goal for you. You coming to Farrakhan puts you in opposition to their goal for you. But whose goal do you want? God's goal for you or your enemy's goal for you? Slide, please.
And let's think about it. What is their goal for us? Remember, that's the title. Abortion to kill, immigration to replace. That's their goal. Is that what we want? We want to be killed and replaced? Okay, let's see.
In order to achieve their goal, the United States government had to target and neutralize their black Muslim problem. Now, the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan said that the Nation of Islam was the only thing standing in the way of the government's plot to demasculinize the black man. Both the government's deliberate spawning of a prison homosexual culture that can bleed and has bled into the larger black community, and the problem that the Muslims caused this plot can be documented further. Between 1951, you see that cracker right there? You can see him? Drink 'em in. Between 1951 and 1951 and 1974, the University of Pennsylvania, in concert or collaboration with the CIA, the U.S. Army Chemical Corps, and various commercial companies such as Dow Chemical, used primarily black inmates at the Holmesburg prison in Philadelphia as human guinea pigs and subjected them to a series of horrific scientific experiments. Inmates were deliberately injected with herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, malaria, and dioxin, the toxic contaminant of the U.S. military's infamous Agent Orange. The point man and architect of this University of Pennsylvania research project was Dr. Albert Kligman. That's him. Dr. Albert Kligman, a University of Pennsylvania dermatologist and a Jew, the son of Jewish immigrants from England and the Ukraine. Dr. Kligman shared the Holmesburg prison experimentation project with Dr. Milton Kahn and his brother, Dr. Bert Kahn, Jews. So too was Dr. Edgar Schein, who helped develop the brainwashing and behavior modification techniques that targeted primarily black inmates, a self-confessed Jew. Why do I emphasize the Jewish heritage of these key figures? Well, it is because I am seeking to expose another chapter, if you will, in the history of the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. A chapter in history I am calling the secret relationship between between the white Jew and the black homosexual.
So that's going on a whole nother tangent, but the thing is, I want to focus on what we have going on here. This is the kind of stuff that it's not real easy to get. It's not real easy to get, but this is when you start understanding this, then you start understanding the fight that Black Americans have. And so recently we have the brother Tariq Nasheed. He's been making waves. He's been making waves in the media, especially for some reason. Basically, he was asking the question, just a simple question, and this was a general question. But but folks in the African, especially in Nigeria, This is insane. Like, okay, we're gonna look at this here. We're gonna look at this. Just real quick. We're gonna look at this. Let me share this screen again. Hold on. So these people are writing articles about Tariq Nasheed because for some reason we asked the question, how does immigration help foundational Black Americans, Black America? How does immigration help? We're talking in general. But the Nigerians, for some reason, they took it upon themselves to take it as if it was talking about them personally. So, in such overwhelming negativity and negative energy came from the community of Nigeria. No one else called in to the levels that they did with the insults that they did and the intentional misunderstanding and misrepresentation of the claims or the question that they did. And now they're wanting to attack Tariq Nasheed because the guy did not allow them to redirect the conversation. So here, African News, AF24 News, unbiased reporting. That's obviously a lie. African American dropout, that's very biased. Tariq Nasheed, under fire from who? We don't care. Xenophobic. Xenophobic means foreign fears. We're not afraid of foreigners. We act like the brother said, we literally in 1965 within the civil rights legislation was the change of the immigration laws to take out birthright citizenship and quota systems from Northern Europeans and allowing different communities, not only Black people, especially Black people that we were trying to get here. And from Jamaica, we wanted our brothers from Jamaica, Africa, to be able to come here. But these people from Nigeria, many of them, they literally refuse to give credit where credit is due. They so much want to give credit to the white man that white people wanted them over here. We are the ones in 1960s wanted them over here. That's a whole nother show for me to show that. I will show it, some of it. Okay. But removing discrimination came as a result of fighting from Black Americans. Okay. That's the stuff that we fight for. But these people don't want to give credit, So now they're literally creating attack and hit articles against Tariq. Tariq Nasheed, an African-American film producer and social media commentator, has been pilloried, really, for making unguarded comments about Africans, particularly Nigerians, living in the United States. Wrong. In his Twitter Spaces conversation, how does immigration benefit Black Americans? Really, that is Mel's Twitter space. Security tribe. Nasheed, a high school dropout. That's irrelevant. But see, that is meant to bias the reader. You see, this is why this is a lie. This newspaper. And these people take the lessons from white people. And this is a big problem here. We have to really look into the history of Nigeria now, because I don't understand what is the source of so much intense negativity, because I don't see this anywhere else, even on the continent. This level of negativity, we don't see it. We don't see it from any other place. So there's something in this history here. They didn't even allow Minister Farrakhan to land Nigeria in some places. I think that he did go to the Oba of Benin, but there was an issue in Nigeria when Minister Farrakhan went there. You know, so efforts by the Nigerian listeners on Space's conversation to fact check some of Nashi. They don't need to fact check us. It was just a question. However, some Nigerians were able to ask him if he, as a high school dropout, could take up the jobs of Nigerian engineers, surgeons, and other professionals in the U.S. First of all, nobody's worried about y'all getting those jobs because we called for you guys to come over here. But Black Americans do those jobs as well. Okay? Just so y'all know. And mostly Asians are taking those jobs. Indians from the continent, subcontinent, India. Not you guys. And we can do those jobs, you know. For instance, columnist Gambia Kankada asks, I have a friend who works at Microsoft. Are you saying that you can work and take his place? No, I can't. Software development. Abidon Adeke tweeted, Tariq and Co. haven't seen anything yet. In the next 3, 4, 5 years, lots of Nigerians will come for every tech jobs. If they like, they should not. If they like, they should not improve. They should continue dropping out. We are coming to take all the jobs. This is what this man. So they're literally putting out here, Black America. This is what Nigerians are telling themselves. Instead of making jobs in their own nation, you come to take someone else's, you come to compete with someone else and replace them. This is the reason why. And this is a big problem in Nigeria here with whoever thinks like this. Okay? And this is their newspaper. I don't know how popular this paper is. This is interesting. Okay, but they can come. It's not going to be that easy, especially if they think they're going to keep kissing up to white people, because the track record of white people is you'll get what you want, but you will go down with them. Social media influencer, whoever this is, Nigerians must keep winning, collecting all the jobs. See, jobs are for slaves. Okay. Make all the money, buy all the property, get all the degrees, secure all the bags, and do it all while being snooty, arrogant, uppity snobs. This is what they want. Okay, this is Nigeria. Okay, this is their culture. Nigerian author Elnathan John, based in Berlin, Germany. See, they're nowhere in their home country. They're not building Nigeria. Also said of Nasib, mix Dr. Umar with Tucker Carlson, but water it down with lukewarm water. Okay, he wants to insult. Nobody, xenophobia. Nobody's worried about that. These people think they're coming over here getting big jobs. They're not getting that. These guys work as bill collectors in Atlanta. You know, okay, so it's not a big deal. If these guys are entrepreneurs and investors, why don't you build up your own nation? Why are you still speaking English as your dominant language in your country? Why are you using the name of a country named after a white woman? that's not a win to us. But it's okay. Do you? We still love you. We know that you will find out later on. But that's what they're doing. But Nigeria wanted to take offense to it. So we'll see what comes of that. They want to roast African Americans, okay? This is what's going on. But that's fine. So let's see.
Get a plane ticket. Did you just tell that fool you're a millionaire?
Yeah.
You have been over there already. The problem is what I'm having is I keep hearing this word job and school. The thing is job and school. If we get reparations, they can have all the jobs they want. Who cares? We can be our own boss. How many bosses you know that's working? Mm-hmm. So the thing is, everybody's trying to sit up and run this game that they've been taught when they get ready to come over here. You need to work hard and go to school. That's why they brought us over here with slavery. Work hard. What that get us? Nothing. I'm trying to figure out what makes them a special breed of black people that they ain't know thing that we was doing. Yeah, you might have dropped out of school. Hell, okay, a lot of our ancestors didn't even get a chance to go to school and build the country. So all that job and school, okay, was brought over and told y'all need to work and go to school. Okay, but right now we on a different level now. We on we need some money. Damn check. and then we'll hire y'all to do the fucking work. Okay. That's all I wanted to say.
Sister was very passionate. Okay. I could hear some of the African brothers and sisters yelling Akata at the phone. Goddamn Akata girl. I can hear the Akata profanities right now. Lord. All right, let's get Gabriel. Okay, let's get Gabriel. I think he has a Buick LeSabre in his profile. What kind of car is that, bro? I think Gabriel has a Chrysler LeBaron in his profile picture. So, Gabriel, get on if you can, sir. My man is stunting an old school car. My niggas, he got a Ford Taurus on some 22s on his damn profile, brother. All right, so Gabriel, hop on if you can. Let me see some more people in here I can bring on. A lot of folks in here. Let me see. I'm digging deep down. I see a lot of faces in here. Shout out to all the family. Shout out to the FBA family. Shout out to the family in the diaspora. Shout out to my UK family, man. I really miss y'all brothers and sisters in the UK. Yeah, they still have me banned from going to the UK. Let's get Umuba. Let's get brother Umuba in. Let's get Umuba, turn your microphone on, sir. Umuba?
Yeah, good morning from this side.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm a Nigerian and I stay in Nigeria. So I just have a few questions to ask you. Ready?
Go ahead, sir.
All right. So the first one is, what is actually the point or the space? Or what was your intention for?
I keep asking this question.
I'm not here to criticize or castigate. I'm not doing that. So I just want to know the reasons. That's your point. And then I want to know the advantage it's going to bring into the Black community in general.
Okay. The topic is basically people can ask me anything because I've been trending all day. I'm still trending now on Twitter. So I'm giving people an opportunity. If they have any questions, they can just ask me here. So it's just an open dialogue. So there's just no point to it, just clarity. If anybody have any questions, they can bring clarity. Now, as far as constructive value to Black society, great question. I'm all about constructive value to Black society. Everything I do, I want to bring constructive value to Black society. At this juncture, we're talking about bringing constructive tangibles to foundational Black Americans.
that's what kind of kicked off this whole wave of people hopping in these spaces talking about foundational Black Americans and Africans in the diaspora, because foundational Black Americans are talking about getting tangibles for our specific group. And then I think a lot of other groups who are non-FBA, they kind of felt a certain way about it. So let me ask you a question, sir. Why do you think so many people over there in the diaspora felt so defensive about us, foundational Black Americans, just kind of focusing on us right now? Why do you think so many people over there feel defensive about that?
All right. So I feel the reason why people feel defensive about this is the way the space has been running. I've been listening for more than 6 hours. I've been listening since yesterday. And the reason why everybody has been defensive is because they feel attacked. So you said something yesterday. You said it's all about why should FBA continue to allow immigrants, that's African immigrants.
All immigrants.
Yes.
Not just African.
All. So you said why. Then my question is.
We said why.
Yes, you asked.
We didn't say why. We just said we said what is the benefit? Why should we support immigration? And yes. I'm going to ask you that. Why should we support immigration?
So my question first is,
before you answer or ask a question, I'm going to have you answer mine. I'm going to ask you again, because that's been the question of the week. Why should foundational Black Americans support immigration, period? Can you please answer that, sir? Go ahead. Go ahead. Unmute your microphone, sir.
in my opinion, the reason why the opportunity was given in the first place is, I think, is to coexist with people of same race, even if we have some people that have been there for a long time, which has basically been their home. So why do you accept a fellow Black into that same country? One, the population of FBA, it's quite minute. According to what you said, it's about 12%.
Right.
Yes. So if we allow fellow Blacks into a community, I think it's going to strengthen the Black.
Okay. No, are you here? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You were breaking up. Okay, let me. Okay, now you said if we allow other Black people to come over, that's going to strengthen foundational Black American society. That's what you said, right?
That's going to strengthen the Black community.
Okay, now let's pause.
All right.
Black people and other immigrants have been coming among Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, for the last 50 years. We've been flooded with other immigrant groups, including many Black immigrant groups. How has that helped us so far?
Okay, well, I can't answer that question because I've not been there.
Okay.
So I don't want to give facts or figures that are wrong.
I can answer because I'm here. I can answer.
Okay.
It hasn't helped at all. In fact, it has been somewhat of a detriment to foundational Black Americans with all of these different immigrant groups, not just African groups. Well, I'm talking about Asian, Hispanic, all of these other groups, East Indian. It's been somewhat of a detriment to foundational Black American society. It has harmed us in the last 50 years. So why should we continue to do something that has been harming us for the last 50 years and nobody can show one benefit? Why should we keep doing the same thing that's going to harm us?
Okay, now my question, why?
That needs an answer. See, when I ask you a question, you don't say, well, my question, because what you...
Well, see, the thing is, and Tariq is kind of, one of the things is that I noticed with the Nigerian, they are told to be kind of arrogant and proud. So when they feel disrespected, they feel that is such an insult to their character. They get extremely, they get their voices shaky. They get very emotional when someone makes fun of them, just a joke. These people can't take a joke. They get personally offended. That's probably something in their society. But I think I'm going to end it off. Nobody's up this early on Saturday morning. And if you guys hear this, I do want to end it off with this one. You got to realize this is this is the original conversation, part of the original conversation that was had over there. Let me see.
You're making a lot of noise on your phone, man.
Yeah, so what's ended up happening here is these folks, they have and this is coming from our enemies. We know who's doing this. We know who's really doing this. Who's sending this message? You see this messaging? This is the messaging that Black America is getting. Look at the messaging that the Black woman is getting. Hold on a second. That was the wrong. All right. That's not what I want. Hold on. Hold on a second. I'm at my share game is acting up. Yeah, but the messaging is off. If you look at the type of messaging that Black women have been getting, you don't need a man. This type of messaging. F your kids. You don't need your kids. This is the kind of messaging Black women is getting. You see? F word them kids. Throw them away. We don't need them. But what's the messaging that the immigrant groups are getting? Keep stealing from them. Take it all. Come on. Listen, these are the women. Why they're getting a different message? You guys can't take care of yourself. You don't have money in your home country. Bring your children. Bring your families. Come on over. Have your children in the United States leave so that your children have the birthright citizenship. This is are we understanding here? Then they want to use the history of eugenics in the United States. The history of eugenics in the United States is against Black American. This is what they want Black America to do.
Iowa legislature to legalize abortion. Despite having the support of both the state Republican Party and the state Democratic Party, as well as strong backing from the governor, the bill would be defeated almost single-handedly by the only African American in the Iowa legislature.
Proponents have argued this bill is for Blacks and the poor who want abortions and can't afford one. This is the phoniest and most preposterous argument of all. I represent the inner city where the majority of Blacks and poor live, and I challenge anyone here to show me a waiting line of either Blacks or poor whites who are wanting an abortion. Iowa State Representative, June Franklin, Democrat, 1971.
You see, in the 70s, we wasn't in line fighting for abortion. Our women wasn't in line fighting for no abortion. What happened? The messaging.
From the beginning, it was obvious that racism was the driving force behind the eugenics movement. While it was true that from time to time these elitist and social engineers would toss a few lower class whites in among the feeble-minded and worthless who should be bred out of society, it was also true that they never seemed to include blacks among the best and the brightest who should be bred in. And at the same time, the country was being saturated with calls for population control and family planning. The facilities to carry them out were pouring into the black community. After all, no one was suggesting that there were too many white people in the world. And realities like those did not go unnoticed by early civil rights activists. For them, the reason birth control and abortion were being pushed was not a secret.
Those whom we could not get rid of in the rice paddies of Vietnam, we now propose to exterminate if necessary, eliminate if possible, in the OB wards and gynecology clinics of our urban hospitals. Jesse Jackson, 1971.
Black people are the target of birth control, not because the ruling politicians like them and care about their economic equality, but because they hate them and can no longer use them in plantations and other cheap labor conditions. Muhammad Speaks, the Black Muslim newspaper, 1970.
I believe the entire question of abortions is just one more in the continuous series of events to eliminate the black population. Father George Clemens, Jet Magazine, 1973.
The abortion law hides behind the guise of helping women, when in reality it will attempt to destroy our people. Brenda Hyson, New York chapter, Black Panther Party, July 1970.
The racist tells you to take birth control pills to kill, to murder life that might have existed if you had not. They are planning mass extermination of people they consider dispensable. Van Keys, Oakland chapter, Black Panther Party, 1969.
A true revolutionary cares about the people. He cares to the point that he is willing to put his life on the line to help the masses of poor and oppressed people. He would never think of killing his unborn child. Detroit chapter, Black Panther Party, 1970.
Who the hell is getting the pill? The Mexican and the Negro. Do you want to wipe us out? Cesar Chavez, 1967.
On the day after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, a memorial service was held at Howard University in Washington, D.C. As mourners left the auditorium, they encountered about 600 people attending a rally outside. Several speakers were heard warning the crowd that population control was being used as a weapon of black genocide. Among the speakers who gave this warning was noted civil rights activist Stokely Carmichael.
A year later, Pittsburgh police were called when 200 sticks of dynamite were discovered near a local Catholic church. An investigation revealed that the dynamite was not intended for the church, but was instead left behind by civil rights activist William Bowie Hayden. Hayden later admitted that he and his group, the United Movement for Progress, had planned to use the explosives to blow up nearby Planned Parenthood facilities because they were practicing black genocide. Hayden had once stated that any African American who supported allowing Planned Parenthood into black neighborhoods was an Uncle Tom.
You see, we got to understand this. This is a generation of disconnect. The freedom fighters back in the 70s, in the 60s, they understood this. This is why those people were taken out, killed, deported. There were good immigration black policies at that time because black people were more on code. We're starting to get on code again. But even the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in Message to the Black Man on page 65, he says, the plan to destroy our race. The American so-called Negroes are gravely deceived by the slave master's teaching of God and the true religion of God. They do not know that they are deceived and earnestly believe that they are right regarding of how vile the white race may be. My poor people are mentally blind, deaf and dumb, and full of fear. Blind because they do not see the light of the truth after being shown it for over 30 years and now over 60, 70 years. Deaf because they will not hear the truth. Islam has come to them from Allah through the messenger, which is him. They are dumb because they will not see or open their ears and hearts after the light has shone clear For many years, you are full of the fear that was instilled in you when you were babies. Okay, you guys were put into fear when you were babies. And this is something here. We just gotta elevate ourselves. And now, that's why I wanted to have this talk. The brother Marcel Dixon. This is the pit people. Now, they were killing some Mexicans at that time too, but now they got a better plan. They're going to replace one because we're getting out of control. And we're going to end off with what brother Marcel Dixon said over here. And then this will be it. I would like for whoever sees this, if you end up seeing this portion, that means you watch to the end. So go ahead and give me a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. Let's do this.
Planned Parenthood, which is the largest provider of abortions, Margaret Sanger literally wrote a letter saying she didn't want the word to get out that they were planning to exterminate the Negro population. She literally wrote that. Now, there's some debate about what context in which she meant it. I don't see where there's a debate about context. She said what she said. And Richard Nixon and George Wallace, I have it up in the Jumbotron on the third bullet point. They supported abortion to notorious anti-Black bigots because they said it would, quote unquote, control, exterminate the Negro population. And we still think this is a coincidence with 79% of abortion clinics in our neighborhoods. What else? What resources are they trying to put in our neighborhoods? Think about all the doctors and leaders we could have had that may have been aborted and we would never know. So, Michael, what I want to say to you is the messaging for me is on two prongs here. One, it is from an economical, political point of view. The fact that the overwhelming majority of Black women who get an abortion say it's because of economic hardship. So it's not like Black women want to get an abortion. The economic circumstances make them feel as if they have no choice but to get one. And why do we have those economic hardships? Again, because we do not have reparations. On that same line of thought, it is also the scientific aspect of it. I don't need to debate with anyone if a fetus has a beating heart, which it does, and electrical brain activity, which it does, and if you abort it, the heart stops beating and the electrical activity in the brain ceases. That is a lie, okay? I had a friend who's from Venezuela who was arguing me down, saying that the fetus is not a human. It's just, I don't know how he explains it. So I said to him, you just had a son. I said, what was the first thing you showed me of your son within the first 5 weeks? Was it not an ultrasound? Was it not sonar patterns of his heartbeat? I said, would you dare say if someone was to start this heartbeat that he was not a human? We just have to look at things like this in a practical manner. And I make the connection between the fact that we've lost 19 million babies. Look at the political power we could have had that we don't have. Look at the majority Black districts, which we could have easily elected on cold Black leaders that we could have had that we do not have. So that's the message I'm going to pursue with that. And y'all, I want to say, I'm not afraid to take on, look, if this was a congressional Black Caucus member, they'll be sitting here saying, oh yes, every woman has a right to her own body. Every woman has a right to her own body, while Black babies continue to be aborted, while these other immigrants are coming here, and they're encouraging them to have children so that they can get birthright citizenship and stay in this country. Do we not see the hypocrisy? You're encouraging people to come in this country illegally and have children, and then allow them to use those children to say that is the claim for them wanting to stay in this country. Yet you are encouraging Black Americans whom you have yet to pay reparations to have an abortion. I noticed this. I'm noticing that little discrepancy there. Now, the Black population is still growing, but just imagine how much larger it would have been had it not been for abortion. and tie that to our economic and political representation. We could have had reparations by now, probably, because if the census undercounts us by 12 million, and it says 50 million of us now, and then we would have had that 19 million, we would have been over 100 million strong. Over 100 million strong, an unstoppable political force. But it's okay. It's not too late to right the wrongs that have been done.
Well, Marcel, can I say something since I'm actually the only woman on the stage, if it's okay?
That's fine, yeah.
So the biggest thing I believe, in my opinion, as a woman with a womb, is that there is no policy that actually protects us protects us and our partners when we do have children. The mental health aspect, I think the last person that was on stage, he was asking about, trying not to rephrase it the way he did, but I think in a sense he was really saying, there's a mental health aspect there when you're talking about having children. And there really is, because the medical field, and I think the medical industry is so messed up to the point where we don't even have enough mental health support in regards to repairing our families, which reparations would help that. Reparations would, I think, help us put in place programs or systems that would surround a mother or a father getting ready to have a child, whether you're responsible or irresponsible. Because financially, you'd be able to pay for a lot of the programs that a lot of large Black American families cannot afford. And that is a big deal.
So, guys, I encourage us to go ahead support Marcus Dixon. Our dollars are a vote as well, even if we don't live in the same state as him. Go ahead and press the thumbs up. Appreciate anybody who's checked this out. Go ahead and share this message. It's very important. And peace out.